Hello everybody, my name is Maura. Welcome back to my channel if you've never been here before. Today's video, as you can tell, is yet another TBR choosing, selection, figuring out what I'm reading, or hopefully, fingers crossed, reading in the upcoming month. Was at a loss the past 2 months when it comes to my TBR. I felt like the books on it, choosing randomly is fun, but it also sucks because I haven't read these books, some of them for a certain reason. Like, I just have zero interest in reading them right now. Me trying to force myself to read them sucks, okay? And I didn't want to do that again, but I want to do something different, so I decided to do the very popular, like, posting on my Instagram story and letting followers decide what I'm reading in the next month. So my Instagram is down below if you want to be in the next one if I do this again, which I probably will because it was really fun. But this way I was also able to choose between two books. Like, I could pick two books that were sort of similar, but I wanted to read both. Does that make sense what I'm trying to say? Like, I picked two books that I had interest in so that no matter what, I was reading a book that I liked. You'll see what I mean when I start this. Of course, as always, picked 5 books that I'm gonna read, but technically I guess 10, but 5 are gonna get picked up by the end. I don't know how else to explain this. Everybody knows what I'm doing, okay? I'm just gonna start, okay? I do forget the order that I forget what books went together. I posted these 2 days ago. Screenshotted the results, but didn't really look at them. Okay, I know what's happening now. The first pairing that we have, I bought both of these books on Sunday, a few days ago. One of them is a new release and one is older. When did this series actually start? 2018. But I've been wanting to read this series for a while and I could not find the first book anywhere. So the one on the left, the darker blue book, is with the emojis, a rugby ball, and book. Felt like that is kind of obvious, but maybe not. That one was Binding 13 by Chloe Walsh. I have been wanting to read the series for so long, but the only book I ever saw out anywhere was Saving Six. Binding 13 is our first one. I picked the rugby ball because they play rugby. I'm like 99% sure. And also because it takes place at a college, so I picked books for college, but also maybe because it's a series, so that kind of also goes together. The book on the right, the lighter blue, like tealish color, is a football and a ring, and that was The Rule Book by Sarah Adams. This is a new release, and if you guys have been watching my videos for a bit, you know I'm literally like in love with Sarah Adams and her writing. She writes the cutest, sweet, like soft romance books and such good palette cleansers. Like, I have never read one of her books and not liked it, so really excited about this one. I also loved the cheat sheet. I always recommend it to you guys, and this one is, I guess, like a companion novel for the cheat sheet. It takes place in the same world, apparently. I don't know too much. I've heard people say different things, so I'm trying not to like confuse myself. These are our 2 books. I tried to pick 2 like sporty books to kind of go together. Let's see which one is our winner. Hello. Oh, I couldn't find it. I was like, I know I screenshotted these. Okay. Oh, wait, I'm kind of sad, but also kind of excited. So the rule book is our winner. 62% against 38, which was for Binding 13. So I'm definitely going to read Binding 13, hopefully this month. Crossing my fingers, hopefully, because I really want to read that. But the winner first is the rule book. I'm really excited about this. Plus, this is a short read. It's like 300 pages, and I love Sarah Adams, so I'm not mad at all. But it's our first book of the month. Next pairing we had this one. These books don't go together at all, but it's the same author, so that's the only way I could really think to put these together. On the left side, this is, I feel like both of these are so obvious. The left side is a heart and then like a chemistry, like science bottle. What are those called? That's pretty obvious. That one is Love Theoretically by Ali Hazelwood. And because I already said what the author is, and I said that it's the same author, then you guys definitely know what the next one is if it's not already obvious. But I've been trying to read this for so long and just never got around to it. This could be the month that it happens, but considering the other emojis I picked, I feel like some people might be more interested in seeing what that book was and a little bit more confused on why I picked those. The next book is Bride. It was a werewolf, or a wolf, like a wolf. It was a wolf, hello, and then a bride. So pretty obvious if you read or know anything about popular books right now. These were pretty obvious. So our winner was Bride. So once again, Love Theoretically is being put to the side. This is another one that I'm gonna try to read this month, Love Theoretically, but we'll see what happens. I keep putting it off and then I never get to it. But I think the emojis I picked for people who don't read and aren't following me for like reading stuff, I feel like they probably were like, what is that? A strange type of emoji combination, so maybe that's why they picked it. But Bride, I also don't really need to say too much about this one because I feel like I'm behind and everybody else has read it. Basically like a vampire who falls in love with a werewolf. I don't know. We're off to a decent start so far. Next up, okay, I think I peeked. I think I know which one won this one. The book on the left. I feel like this actually might not be super obvious. As you can tell, very like cowboy romancy. There's a lot of those, so I don't know. But I did a cowboy and I did sunshine. I was kind of torn on what other emoji to use, so that one's kind of based on the cover maybe a little bit. It is Done and Dusted, and our main girl Clementine in here, sort of cowgirl-esque. She rides horses and they're from like a small town and he's wearing a cowboy hat, so in my mind they're cowboy-esque. And then I did a sun emoji because I couldn't think of anything else, and so I just did one that was like a yellow color because the cover is like yellow and blue. I don't know. I couldn't think of an emoji. The book on the right, I did a rose and a crown. This one, I've actually never seen anybody talk about this book before. I got it when I was in Portland. If you guys watch like my Portland vlogs, then you might know what this book is, but otherwise I haven't talked about it too much and I haven't heard anybody else talk about it. So maybe this one, people just didn't know what this was. But that was By the Book by Jasmine. I'm not saying that last name. I don't know how to do it, so we're just not going to. But this one is the Beauty and the Beast retelling I was talking about. I also don't know too much about this. I think it's like Workplace Rivals or something. I don't know. Maybe I should have like read a little bit more into these before I just picked them for this video, because now I have nothing to share. This is also a really short read. It's 300 pages and it is a Beauty and the Beast retelling is what it said on the back, and when I bought it in the store is what the poster said. So this one I picked the rose obviously because Beauty and the Beast, and it's also covered in roses, but I did a crown because it was a Beauty and the Beast retelling in a way. The book that was chosen was, of course, Done and Dusted. I'm liking the selection so far, I will say. I'm like thoroughly enjoying the books that have been picked. 2 of these are brand new books that I just got like 3 days ago. So I'm pretty excited because they're obviously ones that like I've been wanting to read because I just bought them. So yeah, I'm excited. We have 2 more. The next 2 books were kind of hard to pick emojis for because I don't know too much about these books besides like the obvious. But the first book on the left, I did A Bag of Money and I did a blue heart. And I feel like that one could be literally anything. So I have no idea what people picked for this one, but it turned out to be King of Wrath. I picked The Bag of Money because it's a billionaire's romance, and then I did the blue heart because I couldn't find anything else to do because I didn't want to do another ring. I did that one because it says marrying a blue-blooded Russo. So I did blue-blooded, the blue heart. That one could have been impossible. I don't think anybody was really expecting it to be this, but it is King of Wrath. If you guys have heard me talk about my thought on Anna Huang books, I don't dislike her books, but they're about 50-50 for me right now. Like, they're very hit or miss. I read the Twisted series. I hated the first one, really liked the second one, hated the third one, and loved the fourth one. So no idea. I'm gonna read the Kings of Sin series just to see what we think, if it's the same sort of deal or if people like the series more, which I think they do. I think people like the Twisted series because it's kind of classic to like book talk, but I think more people like this series, but we'll see. And then the second book I think is a little bit more obvious if you are a reader, like if you know books. I think this one could have been obvious. That was A Hook and a Black Heart, and that obviously is Hooked by Emily McIntyre. This one I also got in Portland. I actually got both of these in Portland. This one is a Peter Pan. I don't want to say like retelling because it's not a retelling, but it's basically about Captain Hook wanting to destroy his enemy Peter Michaels, but Peter Michaels has a daughter, 20, and her name's Wendy. Who would have thought? It says Wendy shows up in James's bar and he seduces her to get revenge against Peter, but Wendy is the daughter now, not the love interest to Peter. Now she is, I guess it's age gap, it's dark romance. I don't know anything about anything. This book I've also heard hit or miss things about because dark romance vibes. Some people just like strongly dislike that, which I understand. It's labeled as a romance. We'll see what happens there. So that is the first book, I believe, in her Never After series, and the winner here is Hooked. Oh my god, wait, I'm excited because I did not expect this at all. I'm excited. I'm actually really excited. I've been wanting to read this for a while. This is, oh my god. Oh my god, oh my god. Okay, we're gonna move on. I just opened up, flipped through the random pages, and saw the most intense smut ever. Anyways, we're gonna go into the last book. These 2 were also kind of difficult to choose emojis for, and they wound up being 1 vote off of each other. On the left, I have, what emojis is that? I have like a secret, like this emoji. He's like Shushing. And then I have a Tombstone. That one, I don't really know too much about this book, but it was pretty popular on Book Talk. I wound up getting it over the Christmas break, I think. That is Legend by Marie Lu. They had this they had this sticker over the last name, so I couldn't tell. But this book I honestly don't know much about. Who would have thought? The reason I don't know a lot about it is because there's nothing on the back, and there's a short summary, like really short, right here. June and Day, they cross paths after June's brother is murdered, and Day is the suspect. Sorry, I can't speak. But it says, in a shocking turn of events, the two uncover what has really brought them together, and the lengths they'll go to keep secrets. So I did this because of the secrets, and then I did the Tombstone because it takes place because of June's brother dying. There you go. And then the one on the right side, like a little detective vibe, and then another kind of death emoji, because I didn't know what else to pick, and I didn't want to repeat emojis. And that one was The Naturals, the first book in the Natural series, Jennifer Lynn Barnes. Picked this one because I know it's like a fast-paced, easy read. A lot of people recommend this. This is another one that's really short. All of the books that I picked this month are very short, and ones that I actually been wanting to read for a long time, so I'm kind of relieved that my followers picked it this way. Bless, thanks to you guys. But I picked the detective because it's like Criminal Minds-esque is what I've got from it, and it's basically this program that's called the Naturals program. So it's like Criminal Minds, that kind of like psychological stuff, but they're also like the 17-year-old detective sort of. And then I did the Skull Bones because it's about another murder. So here we go. Pretty excited about this one. This one was a pretty close vote, but I'm pretty relieved with what I got. I think I got most of the ones that I wanted. Like the only ones I didn't really care what I got for was probably like Love Theoretically and Bride, and then Binding 13 and the Rule Book. But the other ones I definitely had favorites, and I got my favorites. So to recap, I'm gonna try to do this in order, but I sort of already forget what the order was. First book is The Rule Book by Sarah Adams, Bride by Allie Hazelwood, Done and Dusted by Lila Sage, which also the second book just came out, so this is like perfect timing. Books by Emily McIntyre, and then The Naturals by Jennifer Lynn Barnes. So I am pretty excited and pretty happy with the books that were picked. And look, none of them are like super long. Like I could definitely do this pretty quickly. I'm also going back to Maryland next weekend, like right when the month starts, so I can definitely take these with me and try to knock out like 2 or 3 potentially, like on the plane and while I'm traveling. We'll see. We'll see. Maybe I'll get them on my Kindle so I don't have to lug around books. But these are the books for the month. I'm really excited. I have a lot more hope this month than I did the last 2 months, because last month was rough. When I first picked out my books, from the start was like, I don't want to read any of these. So I'm feeling a lot more optimistic. I'm looking forward to this month with my reading, and I also don't have school anymore, so I have more time to read. Thank you guys very much for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed, and I will see you guys when I see you.